Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most influential and frankly mind-bending texts in all of Buddhist philosophy, The Perfection of Wisdom. It lays out this really profound spiritual path that ends with a stunning twist. To truly find the path, you first have to realize it doesn't actually exist. So yeah, that question is the puzzle at the very core of this entire text. It's designed to challenge everything we think we know about learning, about achieving our goals, and even about the nature of our own self. It kind of feels like the rug is being pulled out from under us, right? But as we're about to see, it's actually laying a completely new foundation for how we understand reality. So, who's the hero of this story? Well, to really get this puzzle, we first have to meet the central figure on this epic spiritual journey, the Bodhisattva. Okay, so a bodhisattva isn't just seeking their own personal enlightenment. Their mission is cosmic. It's huge. They make this almost unbelievable vow to liberate every single conscious being from suffering before they allow themselves to rest in final nirvana. So the question is, how on earth could anyone possibly achieve that? Well, the key lies in mastering one single thing, Prajñāpāramitā, or the perfection of wisdom. Now, this isn't just knowledge like you'd get from a book. It's a radical insight into the very operating system of reality. The text even calls it the source code from which all enlightened beings, all Buddhas, actually emerge. And here is where we hit our first major twist. The Buddha asks his wisest disciple, a guy named Subhuti, to teach this wisdom to the bodhisattvas. But Subhuti's response is this stunning paradox. He basically says, how can I teach a bodhisattva when I can't even find a thing called bodhisattva to begin with? And that baffling statement just catapults us directly into the core teaching of this whole thing. It's all about seeing the world not as a collection of solid, separate things, but in a completely different way. Subhuti explains that form, everything we can see, feel, or think about, is like a magical illusion. The text is incredibly direct here. Form is illusion, and illusion is form. They're not two different things. They're two sides of the very same coin. Now, it's really crucial to get what this means. It isn't saying that you're not really here or that the world is totally fake. The point is way more subtle. Nothing has a solid, separate, or unchanging core. Everything is just this constantly shifting process, completely interconnected with everything else. So you can see how this insight creates a really profound problem for our hero, the Bodhisattva. I mean, if the very beings you vowed to save are, in their ultimate nature, like a dream or magical illusion, what does it even mean to save them? Who is saving whom? The answer that the text gives us is a complete revolution in how we think about action and learning and achievement. You could almost call it a kind of spiritual martial art, the art of not grasping. The Buddha says a bodhisattva has to learn the unlearnable. I mean, what a powerful paradox, right? It suggests that true wisdom isn't about piling on more facts and concepts. It's actually the process of unlearning our attachment to all those fixed ideas. The key practice here is something called not dwelling. See, our default mode is to dwell in concepts. We grasp onto the idea of a permanent self. We get attached to enlightenment like it's some prize we have to win. We try to pin down wisdom with a neat little definition. But the path of not dwelling is totally different. It means you act with the understanding that the self is an illusion, that enlightenment isn't a thing to get, and that wisdom is just a way of being, not a concept to hold on to. You act, but you don't get stuck in the ideas about your action. Any ultimate goal? It's to dwell nowhere. The text explains that the mind of a fully enlightened Buddha is completely free. It never gets stuck on anything. So a bodhisattva's training is to cultivate that exact same radical freedom, to act powerfully in the world without being mentally captured by it. So, how important is this wisdom, this internal shift? Well, the text makes it crystal clear that mastering this insight is more powerful. It creates more positive merit than any external act you could possibly imagine. The Buddha gives us this amazing thought experiment. Which act creates more good in the world? Act A, a gesture of just unimaginable generosity, filling countless universes with magnificent jewel-encrusted temples. Or Act B, just writing down these teachings on the perfection of wisdom and sharing them with someone. The answer is absolutely mind-boggling. The Buddha says the merit from sharing the wisdom isn't just a little bit greater. It's hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of times greater. In his words, it's incalculable, immeasurable, without limit. So why is it so much more powerful? Well, think of it this way. Offering physical gifts is like honoring the fruit of enlightenment. But sharing this wisdom, that's planting the seed of enlightenment itself. It lets other people engage directly with the source code of reality, where all awakened beings come from. One is just an echo, the other is the original sound. So, after this whole journey through paradoxes of self and illusion and action, where does that leave us? What's the ultimate freedom that this wisdom is really offering? The text brings us back to this incredible analogy. A bodhisattva saves countless beings, but since those beings are ultimately like illusions, no one is really saved. It's like a master magician who conjures an entire city of people and then makes them all disappear. The magical act happens, sure, but no real people were ever there to begin with. The compassionate action is real, but the solid self and other, that's part of the illusion. And this reveals the true meaning of emptiness in this whole philosophy. It's not some scary, nihilistic void. It's the dynamic, open potential that shows up when we see through the illusion. It's the very lack of fixed, separate selves that makes boundless compassion even possible. You see, when those rigid walls between me and you start to dissolve, helping you is no different from helping myself. And so, this ancient text leaves us with this final, piercing question to carry with us. If all the concepts we hold on to so tightly, me, you, success, failure, even the path itself, if they're all part of the illusion, then what are we, really, when we finally let that illusion go? What remains?